the Game Time app. Man, I love the Game Time app. I have used this time and time again. So once again, I'm always trying to give my friends and introduce them to my friends over at Game Time. Look, it's November. The NBA Emirates Cup is starting. We have the UFC end of year calendar, getting late in the football season. It is the best time of the year for sports, but so much more. So why not go and do some of that stuff and use the Game Time app to do that? All you got to do, use my promo code DCTV to get $20 off your first purchase. I don't care if you're watching basketball, football, UFC, concerts, comedy shows. It doesn't matter. It covers everything at the Game Time app. So once again, punch in that promo code DCTV when you're signing up, and we will give you $20 off of your first purchase. Game Time has been rocking with us for a while, guys, so we need to support them. And it works. I love the Game Time app. DCTV to save $20 off of your first purchase at Game Time. Let's go.
What's up, DC?
What up, Chan, man? How you doing, my brother?
We got a fight week, dude. We did it.
Yeah,
we did it, man.
Yeah, we made it, huh?
We did it.
See you at the top. Dude, you got so many little catchphrases now.
I'll tell you what, man.
I like
you
that.
You gotta hit him with it.
Hit him while it's hot.
You gotta hit him with it.
See you at the top.
I like that.
Chandler, I was coming back from ESPN right now. Normally, I like to just wear some sweatpants. Yeah, no, I was at the seaport. We did first take
thank
this
God.
morning.
That's not too far, right?
No, but dude, anything here is like 30 minutes.
Like, it's only a half mile. I got
It's like half mile, dude, like 30 minutes. Chandler, what's up, man? So every week, I saw in Countdown you're going home. Are they flying you private every week like that?
No.
You're a liar, bro. Like, you're literally getting on a private plane.
You said every week.
On Friday night, you're getting on a private plane back to Tennessee?
Hey, listen, I was able to realize that I would get 47 waking hours with my family. Like
every day.
47 waking hours every weekend. Because obviously, when you talk about travel time, it's a lot faster on private. You know, you don't have to sit the 2-3 hours in the airport.
Yeah.
If you add it all up. And that's the flight times. I mean, once COVID hit, there used to be like 6 direct flights from Fort Lauderdale to Nashville. Now there's like 2. One 7 a.m., one 7 p.m. So I'm either going to miss practice on Friday because I
can't do that.
Yeah, or night by the time
you get home, the kids are in bed.
So it's like 47 extra hours. I mean, that's more bedtimes, that's more book times, that's more, family prayers around.
So you're just private planing then now.
I mean,
you look like the type of mug that's flying private all the time too. I'm just looking at you right now. You kind of look like you fly private all the time,
dude. Sometimes.
Dude.
When I'm blessed that day.
Thanks for checking in with me.
Of course, dude.
Guys, Iron Michael Chandler's back.
Back, baby.
UFC 309 versus Charles Oliveira. But before we can get here, we got to go back, obviously, right? You're a guy that is on the other side in regards to doing television, being in front of the camera, asking the hard questions. You've been sitting for a minute, waiting on this massive fight. But you make a lot of money if you just fought all those times in the over the course of that time.
Yeah.
Clearly, you've done very well financially. Was it more about the money that came with the big fight, or was it more about just actually being out there and beating Conor McGregor? Because you can fight Conor and get a bit of a rub, but you got to beat Conor McGregor to ultimately get what Dustin Poirier got, Khabib, and all those guys got.
Honestly, yeah, it was more being a man of my word and wanting that fight. I mean, obviously, we did the Ultimate Fighter I got the phone call in January. So I fought Poirier in November, had Thanksgiving, Christmas, and all of a sudden Hunter Campbell's calling me and saying, hey, you want to do the Ultimate Fighter against Conor? And that started in January. And at that point in time, you're like, okay, we already did the Ultimate Fighter. We filmed it. We're building it up.
Yep.
Okay, now we pushed it a couple months. We pushed it 2 months. We pushed it. It was never like...
It's over.
Yeah, I mean, if Hunter would have ever called me and said, hey, he's not fighting for 18 months, right? Mm-hmm. Probably would have pivoted. But it was always like a little bit here, a little bit there. Now it's not till this, So it was partly because of that, and we could never really get a clear answer. But between me and you, on camera, on microphone, like, I enjoyed having a little bit of time.
Yeah, for sure.
As you said, like, love the UFC, love fighting, but I am not beholden to the UFC paycheck. I am a self-sufficient man making money multiple times, multiple ways without fighting. So it was nice to be able to cash in on that, so to speak, and say, hey, I'm just going to be a businessman, an entrepreneur. I'm going to work on my investments. I'm going to work on being with my family. And it was a great time for my body and my soul.
I did the podcast with you right as you started on
on your deal, which you do a fantastic job of anyways. But as you're waiting, right? I remember when Conor got hurt. I said, Chandler, tell me you sent me a picture of Braveheart. Hold the line. Yeah. I can't tell you.
It was a little hairy there for a couple days, and I'm like, is this freaking fight going to get canceled, man?
Yeah.
Like, the press conference got canceled, and I'm like, I'm not really getting a real answer because, I mean, UFC can't.
They can't just flat out tell you.
Hey,
nope.
He's injured. I mean, that would be against the rules,
especially
right?
if his intention is to still try to fight.
Yeah, you know. So it was like, this looks a little hairy, man. This doesn't feel good. But I really did stay laser focused. All I could do was focus on the main thing, which was training, man. I kept staying in the gym all the way up until 8:22 p.m. on September 13th when Hunter called me.
Yeah.
And was like, hey, man.
It's off.
Yeah, it's off.
How do you stay so positive in the face of all this? Because we talking about you constantly. Me and Askren, we talking about you. Your friends, we're like, yo, Mike is bugging out. But then everybody's got an opinion but don't know.
Yeah.
How do you stay so positive in the face of all that? Or is it because you're on the other side of it, knowing that you at times have to give opinions?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm on the other side. I'm in the know. I'm in the actual story, right? Like I am the property. I am the thing that people are talking about, and they are talking about it with their opinions or their assumptions or their from what their experience says what they would do if they were in my position. Mm-hmm. I knew I was making maybe the right decision, maybe the wrong decision, but I was making my
You were
decision.
making the decision for you.
And if I made the wrong decision, if all of this turned out the way that it was going to, and Conor was going to not ever show up, or Conor was going to get injured, Conor was going to pull out of the fight, that's fine. I can live with that. I made a decision, and I can live with it. Accountability is a superpower, and in life, everything that ails the human condition is because we don't take enough accountability, look in the mirror and say, that guy right there is the reason why I am in this position.
Yeah.
The man in the mirror staring
I want
back.
to pass it off on somebody
You
else.
want to point fingers, so like, and maybe that's a fool's errand sometimes, and maybe you make the wrong decision, and maybe, but ultimately, man, I just knew I was in a good spot. I enjoyed the process, and if a bad thing happens, but a good thing comes from it, was it really a bad thing?
So
when
during
you're
that
sitting on the cusp of Madison Square Garden, 5-round co-main event, #1 contender fight. I beat Charles Oliveira on Saturday night. I beat Islam in 2025. I am the oldest UFC champion at lightweight. How old were you when you won the title?
Don't even
How
question.
old?
You can't do it, bro.
I'll be 39, but I'll be a
39.
lightweight. I'll be
It's harder to do at your weight, though.
Oh yeah,
heavyweight's at 39.
At 155.
A heavyweight 39 is
I've been
different.
competing in the 150s since I was 17 years old. Like,
Yeah,
that's
no.
I
39 years old is crazy as a lightweight.
I would have been 6'2", 230.
There is no old, young, small weight champion.
Yeah.
Heavyweights, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We could do it.
Sean Shirk was the oldest at 33. And
Think
now
about
Islam,
that.
How old is Islam?
I don't know, like 32, 33 years
32,
old.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
he's very young,
it'll be
too.
him, yeah.
So they're all very young. But again, now you get past all that, right? All the noise, you get the call, you're fighting Charles Oliveira, Madison Square Garden, all those great things that you just did. Mike, you motivate yourself at a level that most can never do. But to fight Charles Oliveira the first time, motivation comes easy. You're fighting for the belt. A rematch without that on the line, though. How easy was the motivation, and where did you draw from it? I know you draw from your kids and your wife, but like what said, I know this guy's dangerous. What makes me get up to go fight this dude where the goal isn't so present?
Yeah.
Right? Because it's easy to get motivated when that belt is sitting right next to the octagon.
Yeah, I mean, truly, I think when you're fighting in the top of the division against the top guys, the belt is always kind of on the line, whether you're fighting for it or not. You're either 1 away, 2 away. You make a statement. When I make the statement that I believe I'm going to make on Saturday night, I'm fighting for the title next. So I'm 1 fight away from fighting for. I'm fighting for the title next with a win. So that's the way that I see it. I also get to right or wrong. I did lose to Charles the first time.
I was so close to beating him.
Yeah,
You're right there.
Yeah, and I think if you want to talk about pressure, man, you don't want to wrestle that dude
again that you barely
already
beat. Overtime?
Yeah, in overtime.
He essentially won in overtime because you had him on the ropes like that, right?
Man, it's like, whereas me, like, I'm not even supposed to win. I lost the first fight. There's no pressure on me, man. And also, I've just completely flipped my mindset and changed my mindset, man. I love this sport. I won't want to say I hated it, but it was tough for a second going through all of those things, and all of a sudden I get done with the training camp. By the time I'm able to walk again and my face is finally not swollen again, all of a sudden I'm getting another phone call, hey, you're going back into training camp in 3 weeks. Okay, let me go make sure I do extra stuff with my kids and with my wife. Let's go on a little vacation. And then before you know it, boom, I'm right back to it. And it was tough for 26 months. I was signed with the organization, had 6 training camps, 6 opportunities. 1 was the backup, and then 5 fights of the night, fight of the year, debut of the year, knockout of the year. I mean, it was an absolute murderer's row. So a little bit of a break was great for me, and I can't wait for you to see it on Saturday night.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So when you look at this matchup, do you see from the Arman Tsarukyan fight, right? Because there's things out there now about Charles Oliveira today. What we don't have is things on Michael Chandler for the last 2 years.
Yep.
Do you see any changes in him after watching him fight Arman Tsarukyan?
I mean, Arman was obviously able to take him down and control him a lot. Landed some big shots on bottom. Charles will sit and guard, and he's not afraid to sit and guard. I think part of it is because I don't think he really thinks he's gonna get a submission by laying down there. I think he's just like, well, I'm gonna let this fight play out, and I'm just gonna lay down here, and I'm okay losing this round, and I'm okay winning the round if I'm on top. However, man, I just think I am completely different, and he is a lot of the same, and also he's coming off of that loss, which is. He's probably lost a little bit of confidence after losing that fight. I was there, cage side, watched it. Arman did a lot of great things. But I think I'm going to be so much different. Too fast, too powerful, too tenacious, and too big of a calling.
Do you think, you said something on Countdown that was very I said, oh my goodness. You said at the time he had this reputation of quitting, right? If you believe that, then there's no way you can ignore it in the fight when you hurt him.
Yeah.
But now, after fighting him and gaining that respect for him, do you feel like that, just that, one simple change will allow for you to compete better, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't think that he's going to, it doesn't matter if he showed it that he had changed a little bit, It doesn't show like him beating this guy and going on that win streak to fight you for the belt. It doesn't matter because in your mind, if you've seen him quit, you always go back to that. It's human nature to call back on their weak. But then once you're in there with him and you realize, okay, he did it against me.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to see a guy do something. A guy can go kick Luis's ass. That's Luis right there. He's my producer. I can watch a guy kick Luis's ass.
Yeah.
And I'll go, well, that dude's all right.
Yeah.
Right? But if he fight me, I'm going to get him.
Yeah.
Until he gets me.
Yep.
Then I'm like, okay, now I'll respect that man.
Yep.
Then it will allow for me to compete against him better the next time.
Yep.
You think that's the same for you?
1,000%. I think the fact that I had that mentality going into that fight against Charles. I mean, because that can make the fight almost give you too much confidence. Like,
yeah, it
I'm
does.
Michael Chandler, dude. There ain't nobody that can hang with me. I'm going to break this dude. He's going to quit. That did not happen. Now I have to respect that leading into this fight. Now knowing what his strength of schedule has been now, because the one thing I will say is, what was he on, like a 6 or 7 fight win streak?
Yeah, to get to the title
leading
shot.
into the title shot, but. They weren't great high-ranked guys either. So you didn't have a crazy strength of schedule, and then you also had previous fights before that where he would quit, he would fake an injury or whatever it was, all these different things. Now Charles has changed that tune. He has changed that public perception. But once a quitter, always a quitter. That little quitter is still inside of him. But I think it's
pushed him
stuffed
down.
way down
Yep,
there.
you got to go find him.
We've all got a quitter in us. We got to realize
bro,
that as humans. We all got it. It's just got to be brought out. And maybe I can do it on Saturday. Maybe I can't. Maybe it's a knockdown, drag-out war. I don't know.
I said that yesterday, bro. I was like, I realize I'm a quitter. Bro, I one time, I won the world title in the UFC, went to hot yoga on Monday, faked an injury.
Yeah.
Faked an Mike, injury. I faked an injury. It was hot in the room. I was like, oh my God, I'm a quitter.
Exactly.
Like, I faked an injury, but you're right. It's in there. You got to just be able to go find it. With Charles Oliveira, it seems to be hidden. Mike, before I let you go, dude, last thing, the whole Conor McGregor thing seems to be behind you. Or is it, right? Is there still a hope that that fight happens? Because there were times where people would say, McGregor fight, title fight, I'm taking the McGregor fight. Is that fight still a thing that you want, or have you just kind of completely pushed it out of your mind?
I mean, I've pushed it out of my mind because we're 3 days
away from what you have.
From the fight, right? But when it comes to, you've seen Conor's interviews, he's talking about me. I think Conor doesn't get enough credit for how much he does love and appreciate this sport. Conor is nothing without the UFC.
Nope.
He's nothing without the sport of mixed martial arts. And what he has done is nothing short of amazing, but he is nothing without this promotion. And he loves this sport. He respects it more than we give him credit for. I think he wants to right the wrong of him pulling out of his first fight ever. He's fought numerous guys injured, battled through injuries. One fight he didn't show up for, and that's Michael Chandler. So I don't think that he wants that to be a stain on his legacy. And I think he does come back because I don't think this is the way that he ever wanted to leave the sport. With that being said, if it never happens, I'm completely cool. I'm fine. I'm fighting for the title next. But midnight Saturday night, I am the #1 contender, and I'm the highest ranked guy not named Islam or Arman, and I will be cage side wherever that fight is, and I'll be fighting.
I know where it is. I know where it is.
Yeah, you know where.
I do. I'm not telling you, but it's gonna be sunny. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice and warm, dog. You gonna like it.
Tank top.
You gonna wear. You gonna be able to show those big arms.
Yeah, dude. I'll be sitting there and I'll be watching.
Hey, let me tell you something about Ace Chandler. He's a tank, bro. I saw him on Countdown. I was like, yo, Ace Chandler's huge.
I tell you what, dude. Hap is tall and slender.
He's tall and lean.
And Ace is like a freaking middle linebacker.
Middle linebacker.
I love my dudes.
Put him in wrestling, man.
I know.
Oh, why don't you with that big property you got, you could just build your own restaurant and train him.
We're moving, dude. You got to come out to the
You're
house.
moving. Why would you move out of that place?
Because we got a different house.
Yo, this boy Michael Chandler literally planted his grass. Every strand of grass Chandler put in finger piece by piece. You look at this dude's pristine lawn, it is crazy what him and Bree have accomplished in that house. It's amazing. Guys, Iron Michael Chandler fights this weekend at UFC 309. He takes on Charles Oliveira in what is, if you listen to Mike, the #1 contenders fight, and he plans to get the job done. Tapping everything he's doing. Subscribe to his YouTube channel because it is phenomenal and everything else Michael Chandler's doing. Guys, hit that pay-per-view button at ESPN Pay-Per-View. You don't want to miss it because it's always good, right?
Hey,
fight of the night, fight of the year, every performance. It's always good.
The most exciting guy in the UFC, and I fight on Saturday night. Don't miss it.
Limousine riding, private jet flying, like the nature boy, Michael Chandler. Guys, like, subscribe. Until next time, tell your friends. Peace. Iron Mike, you're the man, boy.
Dude.
You are the man, Mike.
DC, the best hype man, dude.